Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, co-author of the Success Principles, How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be, and also the Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. I'm sitting here with Jimmy Owens, who is a coach and a speaker and an amazing person just in general. So glad to have you here.
Jack, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's start by talking about, I know who you are, but the viewers don't. Give us a little background about who you are, what you do.
Well, first off, Jack, I am an author. I'm working on my third book.
Good for you.
I'm a speaker, and mostly I talk to colleges and high school students, people that I coach, and I'm working on my speaking to business entrepreneurs. I also have been a USA Swim coach for over 30 years,
Wow.
and I own multiple businesses. I own an entertainment company, DJ Jimmy O Entertainment.
Oh, really?
And so I've done live sound and DJing parties and events, help people create memories.
My middle son is a DJ. That's so cool. Good for
It's
you.
got me through college and it paid for everything. I
Yeah.
did it for over 35 years.
Yeah.
I also own a Dorado Swim Academy, which is a swim school in Southern California, where we teach kids from 2 years old all the way to adults how to swim and how to be safe in the water. But most importantly, and this is where I created my principles from, which we'll talk about later, is I am a heart transplant recipient.
Wow.
And
That's
that
good.
happened in November of 2023. I had heart failure, and the hospital found me a new heart.
We have to digress for a minute about that. So you're in the hospital. Did you know you were getting a heart? Did they tell you were getting a heart? Did you have to wait a long time to get a heart? What was your...
So, real quickly about that story is no, I went into the hospital in complete denial, thinking, just give me medicine and let me go back to work.
Mhm.
I'm that guy. And the nurse finally came in after about 14 days, and the doctor came in and said, son, you're sick. You're not going to get to go home. We'll send you home with hospice if you're going to leave. And I said, hospice? Does that mean people that die? And they said, yeah. And I said, what? Well, it turned out that 50% of my liver had cirrhosis. I was in stage 4 kidney failure, and my heart was pumping at 18% volume, meaning there was no
Wow.
oxygen going through my body. So they put me on this machine. The first day they said to me, Jim, we're going to send you to UCLA, Ronald Reagan Medical Center in Los Angeles. And they said, we're going to do our best to find you a new heart. They sent me to meet the transplant team. Well, they stuck me on ECMO the first day I was in there. ECMO is a machine that takes the blood out, puts the blood back in, and it oxygenates the blood.
Yeah.
Well, and you can only stay on that machine for so long. I ended up on that machine for 9 weeks.
Wow.
In that 9 weeks, my liver completely regenerated to normal because it was getting oxygen.
That's amazing. What were you thinking that whole time? 9 weeks. That's a long time waiting for...
Oh, you don't want to know. I literally was... Didn't matter that I had the idea of that I'm getting out of here.
Right.
I got scared, like everybody else would probably get scared. And I was not happy that I had to stay in bed most of the time.
Right.
I can't even begin to tell the audience all the issues of being in a hospital.
Yeah.
But I will say that UCLA Ronald Reagan Medical Center had some of the best nurses and best doctors, and they took great care of me.
Yeah.
And I am so happy to be here today.
Well, you're now a speaker, and you've been a coach forever, and now you're coaching and speaking in a different way with you mentioned entrepreneurs and college students and all that. And I'm just curious, this experience with the heart transplant, is that infused or inspired or impacted your message in any way?
It has. After receiving the heart transplant, I kind of made up in my mind when I got out of the hospital, Jack, that I wasn't going to just use the community as a pool anymore in the high school, that I was going to now use the world as my pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to completely change what I was doing. And I had met people like you many years ago when I was young and a beginning teacher. And I had also met people like James and other entrepreneurs that I thought, wow, I really like what they're doing. And while I was in the hospital, I created what I called the SWIM philosophy because I was a coach.
So let's talk about that.
And we're going to talk about that right now, which is great because that's what helped me get out of the hospital. SWIM stands for S, serious. No matter what it is you're doing, whether it's athletics, whether it's in business, you've got to be serious. You got to make up your mind, this is what I want to do, and set your goals and decide this is how I'm going to get there. So you got to be serious. That's S. W stands for you got to want to win. Now, that doesn't mean you got to want to win the gold medal. You don't need to be Michael Phelps, but you got to want to be better than what you are. And when I realized well, I'm coaching, I have a job, I love what I do, but can I do something better? And that's, to me, that's winning. When I wanted to improve myself and help improve others that I'm speaking to. So that's the W. The I is inspiration. There are many times you don't want to get up and go to practice. And I I will tell you, everybody knows Michael Phelps. And I said on an interview with Michael Phelps, and I listened to what he said, was there was 100 days out of the year I didn't want to go to practice. That's a lot of days. You don't want to go to practice. And he said, but I went anyway because I had my goals set. And even though I might have only given 20 or 30%, I still got 20 or 30% out of that day,
Yeah.
where my competition got 0.
I remember reading his training schedule one day, swimming in the morning, taking a nap, eating, and then swimming in the afternoon again, and just like on and on and on. Yeah, amazing.
It was amazing. That's why he's the GOAT, and he had his focus and his goals. And the M in swimming, for swim,
Right.
Stands for motivate. You've got to, and it's different than inspiring, you've got to motivate yourself. Who do we really motivate? Do I motivate you when I talk to you? Do I motivate the people that I speak to? I probably inspire them, but do I really motivate them? They have to motivate themselves.
Right.
They have to change their lives. They have to learn to set their goals. They have to learn what it takes to achieve those goals. And by doing that and by improving, the people around you, your team is going to see that, and they're going to say, well, if he or she can, so can I.
What I love about what you're doing, because I mean, as a swim coach, you were certainly doing that with your swimmers, but the average kid who's not on a sports team doesn't learn that stuff. And I think I saw a statistic recently that only 10% of kids in America graduate high school having ever been taught how to set a goal. That's amazing.
And for a guy who's came from teaching teachers,
right?
I can't believe they don't teach that stuff in school. And even like in your book, like we talked about earlier, the Chicken Soup for the Soul, the story about the train that thought it could. You don't teach kids to be better than average and ordinary anymore. You don't teach kids that they can.
Right. Well, you're now doing that as you're going on speaking
exactly right.
to college kids and high school kids. So you're absolutely passionate about this. Why so passionate? I mean, there's a lot of things you could be doing with your life right now. This new life you've been given, if you will.
I've been given a second chance.
Yeah.
And the passion that I have is the combination of experiences that I've had from owning the businesses, from coaching, from teaching, from working with. It created my passion to want to help others. And that is what I've always wanted to do. Is even when I first became a coach at a high school, I just wanted to help those kids get better. And that's where my passion comes from. Now that I am a heart recipient, and I'm going to tell you, when they rolled me into that operating room before I was knocked out, I literally said to myself, I'm going to give this gift, because I don't know the person that gave me the heart. I've written the family, don't know their story, don't know the name, don't know anything about them except for mid-20s. That's all I knew.
Wow.
But I said, I'm going to honor this gift that's keeping me here and do something different with my life. And that's what created my passion, Jack.
Good for you. Good for you. A lot of people go out and they do motivational speaking, or they do, educational, transformational speaking. What would you say makes your message unique and different?
What makes me unique and different is mostly my combination of skills from the years of owning businesses, from the years of coaching. I've already been coaching for over 30 years. The fact that I come from a committed to excellence type of background. And most of the people that get in this business, I don't think have that type of background. Anyway, what makes me most different than everybody else is the fact that I know how to set the goals and achieve those goals.
You've been there, you've done that.
I've been there, done that.
You've walked the talk. So
yes, sir.
I always notice, like, if people stand up on stage and talk about prosperity and being a millionaire, but they're not one, it doesn't have the same value or the same ambiance, or what's the word I want? The energy's not there if someone who has actually done it,
Yes,
and you've actually done it. So that's really exciting.
it is very exciting.
Yeah. So now people are out there watching. They're saying, okay, I like this guy, Jimmy. He's pretty cool and doing some amazing things. I mean, I just think surviving your heart transplant is way cool. But the reality is they're going like, okay, I might want to work with him or bring him into my school, have him speak to my students or whatever. What would you say to that person who's thinking about that right now?
Well, first off, to the folks out there watching, I want to tell you that the most important thing in life is you've got to believe in yourself, because a lot of times you get that stinking thinking that life will throw at you, and you won't have the belief that you need to have. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So you've got to believe in yourself. Secondly, you got to embrace the journey. I think Ralph Waldo Emerson said, life is a journey, not a destination.
Hmm.
But what I learned as a coach was it's not really about the destination at all. It's about who you become on that journey,
Right.
who or what you become on that journey. And thirdly, you got to take action. If you don't take action and you don't change anything, nothing's going to change. And that might mean you got to hire a coach. You got to hire someone to help you. You got to ask for help, because it's very difficult to do things by yourself.
Right. I saw a poster recently that said no one ever climbed Mount Everest without a team. No one ever got to the moon without a team. I remember reading about the golfer Tiger Woods.
Yes,
He had a long game coach. He had a short game coach. He had a putting coach. He had a nutritional coach, a fitness coach. You don't get there without people that know a little
correct.
more than you that can help you go that way. So I'm really glad you're out there doing what you're doing. I think it's phenomenal. You're a great guy. I love your energy. Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you, Jack. I appreciate it.
All right. Make sure you check out his website and check out him and if you're not living the life you want and you want to get to where you want to be, you need to be taking his message, the SWIM philosophy. And if you've got students or people you care about, young people that you know need to be not just motivated, but inspired and also given the tools they need to take the next step, this man can help you do that. So make sure you connect with him.